Hey everybody, Zucopoulos here, and today's going to be more of an informational video because I had a bunch of things come up that kind of all aligned to be able to do a video about how I go about leveling my guys and when I decide to do what. So if we look at my farming team, now everybody should have a farming team, and these teams are the teams that you're working on Esper residents and proficiencies. So this is my farming team here. And what you can see is I have some 120s and I have an 89 in Resnick. Now with my 120s, I always like to have 5 or 6 espers maxed out. It allows me to go ahead and have the versatility to change up espers on different guys and different teams. So we can see here, the Helena, she has 3 so far. And then what we can see here is then she's working on her 4th there in Diablos. Same with Summer El Sorel. If we look at her, there's her 3, and then she's going to be working on her 4th. We have the free unit that we got in Lizette, and we can see she is working on her 3rd. Now, I have Sylvie here, and we can see that she now has her 6. So she has 5 UR Espers, and then the very last thing I like to do is I include 1 MR Esper when I'm done building a guy, because that MR Esper is just there for limited cost battles. So always having at least 1 MR on all of your guys is perfect for that. And then what we can see here is then we have Resnick. She's set at 89. Probably about, I don't know, I want to say 35-ish shards to get her. And we can see that she has 3. She's been in there. Nothing much. But I do have 2 units that I want to start working on now. I have Chunok, and then I have Queen Masserie. So we can see Chunok here is now LB4. So, and what I'm going to start to do with him is I'm going to start to work on his bravery and start to max his first Esper. So for all 89 units, I like to max their faith or bravery and then max their first Esper at 89. And then I also have Queen Masserie. She's at 79. So I just did all her abilities, ended up enhancing all of her jobs, and then she doesn't have anything. She hasn't been in my barracks. She doesn't have any weapon proficiency, so that's what she is now going to do. So if I go into my formations, what I am going to do is I am now going to swap out Resnick for Queen Masserie. Queen Masserie is only going to be there strictly to start an Esper, but I want to start getting her weapon proficiency up. So we can see all the proficiencies are all arrowed down, everything arrowed down. So we're just going to pick a mace, equip that onto her, and then we're going to pick her first Esper, which is going to be this one here. And then what I'm going to do is eventually whenever the mace or the armor run out, I'll swap in an accessory until all of her weapon proficiencies are maxed. Once all of her weapon proficiencies are maxed, I'm going to swap her out and continue working on residents with somebody else. Now, Chunok, we're going to replace with Sylvie. Now, I did that same strategy with Chunok. So we can see if we go in, we still need some weapon proficiency there. We need to put in an armor. And then because he's 89, I am going to now start working on his bravery. So what we're going to do here for him is I have Cecil's accessory here that has the ability to permanently raise a bravery every cast. And then we're going to switch and work on his Esper. So the goal for Chunok here is going to be to finish all of his weapon proficiencies. I want his bravery to be 97. Now he's going to be a damage dealer, so faith at 50 is perfect. You always want faith at 50, so if you use bells or any other AP recovery, it's going to work. Anything lower than 50 and it may not work. There's like a certain chance. So then he's going to start working on that. Now, because I want him to use Cecil's buff every time, what I have to do is I have to go into each of his abilities and I have to turn off any buff. So that's damage. See, here's a buff. We have to turn that off because we don't want him using that instead of Cecil's TMR. Okay, that's a damage. That's a damage. And we're going to turn that one off. And we'll go into his sub job, making sure that's a damage. Turn that one off. And now that I am thinking about it, I believe I saw this is a pretty long range hit. And we don't want him using that instead of the buff, so we're going to turn that one off too. So then what that's going to do is it's going to allow him. We need to replace you with, let's put in another AP recovery one. And so then what's going to happen is Moshiri is just going to sit in the back, gathering proficiency, start residence. Chunok should be able to start raising his bravery. And to be able to raise faith and bravery, it has to be run. You can't do it with skip tickets. Now, proficiency and Esper residence, those work with skip tickets. But when you're running faith and bravery farming, it has to be done with a run. So we're going to, before I set to repeat, we're going to run a battle and just make sure that Chunok uses that buff. Now, I'm not quite sure, but I believe Rob's TMR also gives a permanent bravery. I would have to check that, or you'd have to check that. But I like Cecil's because it does buff all the teams, but not a lot of people got Cecil because he was limited. So we're just going to look at this run real fast. And all the damage dealers are just going to run up. They're going to go before Moshiri and Chunok because they're a much lower level. So they're going to go up. And then Chunok hopefully is going to run up and use the buff. There's the buff. That's going to be a permanent bravery raise for him of 1. And then we'll just wait for this to finish all out. And then we will go back in and we'll double check just to make sure that it all run. Now, if you ever wanted to like do these types of runs and you wanted to like maximize your time, if you happen to be using background farming, you would just go in and turn off everybody's buffs. So they're only doing damage and they're not doing this running around trying to find the guy. Of course, the one went down the stairs, so everybody's going to have to chase him. And they're all going to come back up. It's so funny. But for me personally, I don't do that just because I'll forget to turn them all back on, and then I'll go into a guild battle or arena, and all of a sudden I won't be using any of their buffs. And you're like, oh no, I didn't turn them on. But that's just me. So now that that one is run through, we'll go ahead and skip through this. We will go back to the embark screen. And then Chunok his bravery should have went up by 1. So again, don't use skip tickets. Background farming doesn't work for faith and bravery farming. If you would like to see me do, there you go, he gained 2 bravery. It was at 70, now it's at 72. If you'd like to see me do a faith farming one, show you how that works, go ahead and feel free, drop me a comment. I would be more than welcome to do that video for you. And as always, my guild is recruiting. All levels of players are welcome. New players, veteran players, casual players, serious players, all are welcome here. 7th Heaven. We have a very friendly Discord. Get along great. Feel free to look us up and come on and join us. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will talk to you guys all later. See ya!